I'm going to go back to the BIOS and I want to show you how to do a hot swap. And what I'll do is I need to put a disk in one of these drives to show how that works. Here's a 6 terabyte drive. That'll work for hot swap. Okay, we're going to go into the BIOS and we're going to do hot swap and hot plug. So we've got to have a drive to do that with. So we'll use this drive for a guinea pig. And because all these drives are different sizes, it'll be easy to keep track of them, so we're not trying to figure out who's on first. So again, this is a brand new drive. It needs to be set up and formatted. And with a brand new drive, when we plug this in, nothing's going to happen. 3.5 inch. Okay, we got a drive in. Now before that drive can be used to demonstrate what we're trying to show, we're going to need to initialize the disk. So the same procedure, we'll go into the control panel, administrative tools, and set that up. Apparently for the size and capacity of the disk, we did not wait long enough for Windows to try to get that drive up to speed. We were trying to speed up the process. All we needed to do was wait a little bit longer once we stuck it in to give it time to be recognized and come back and forth. That must be an issue with the BIOS where it takes time for devices to take a little longer to enumerate. So good to know. So here's the screen that we get with all new disks. And this again is a Western Digital Gold data center drive. You know, whenever you're looking at drives, we've always bought the Western Digital Black. You can look at the Backblaze reports, but HGST is probably one of the best. I think they run hot. They're now owned by Western Digital. But when you're looking for a drive at a good price, these data center drives fit the bill. And for the size, capacity we needed, this is going to do the job. So once we've installed the disk, the purpose is showing hot swap, hot plug. We need to go to settings, I/O ports, SATA configuration, and we have the burner, AHCI, NVMe RAID is disabled, SATA port right there, chipset SATA port hot plug. Now that's curious. This is like an all or nothing option, which is really strange. In the past, again on the 8350, you enabled it on the individual ports because when all this came about, it was SATA eSATA. And an eSATA was an external port, so you wanted to have hot swap, hot plug on that because that's what you would pull in and out. But with this, it's all or nothing. Chipset, SATA port, hot plug. Wow. So everything that's on SATA is going to be hot swap. Okay. So we will turn that on, press enter, and that's either auto or disable. So auto, and yeah, there's nothing we can do. We can't get down and do anything else to those. That's kind of curious. Not sure I like that. For example, the internal drive, I don't want it to be hot plug. I don't want it to be able to be disconnected. That could get me in problems. So I'll have to be thinking when I see that what I'm doing. I don't understand why they did that. That needs to be fixed. You need to be able to individually decide which port you want to have as a hot plug, hot swap. But they didn't ask us. I'm just showing you what I know. And I'm learning this for the first time too. Wow. Okay, well anyway, we've got auto, so let's keep going. Once we have auto, we'll press escape. Let's see, we want to do F10 to save it. Save the configuration, yes. And it shows last modified chipset, SATA port, hot plug from disable to auto. Okay, I kind of like that. Now, used to the BIOS would hang when you would try to say save or escape. And that was annoying. So that was one issue they fixed with the latest BIOS update. So if anybody says, why would you update the BIOS? For lots of reasons. There's nothing in the documentation that says anything about this, but that's something else. We had that with the F2 and with the F3. You couldn't save anything. It would just freeze the screen. Okay, system's coming back up. We're going to go right into Windows. I'm curious if we went into the BIOS, since we made that change, if it would let us change the individual ports. We might go take a look when we get through. We should have been able to set all that in one shot, but what we'll have in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, we'll take a look at that little icon that you use for USB to plug them in and out. It'll work now for SATA. Let's take a look. Down here in the bottom right corner, bring up the little arrow, and there's our little safely remove hardware and eject media. We'll click on that, and it shows both drives. You see, I want it to show the 6 terabyte drive, but I do not want it to show that internal drive, but it does. You just have to remember what you're doing and when. It's interesting because if we had a disk in the burner, that means it would show up there in the list as well. Wow. Huh. I need to give that a little more thought. Let's go back into the BIOS and take a look and see if there's any way we can set that port. That should be set by individual port the way it used to be. So anyway, that works. And if we did a disconnect, then we'd be able to open this door, pop that out. I don't want to do that right now. We're going back into the BIOS first. I want to see if it'll let us individually set the ports. I don't think it will, but I want to double check. We're not going to disconnect anything. So let's reboot, go back into the BIOS. I got to tell you, these little subtle differences are really, really interesting. You know, again, you don't know this stuff unless you do it. These subtle nuances are not in the manuals. You have to experience it. So I hope you guys are finding this useful. As one user said, Gil, you get into the weeds, and I like the weeds. Well, you know, we like to keep it simple, but we like to tell you everything that's going on, because it's those little things, you know, details matter. Okay, back in the BIOS, let's take a look. And it's remembering that we're in the advanced BIOS and not in the simple BIOS. I like that. I didn't expect that. So we'll go to settings, we'll go to I/O ports, SATA, and we have nothing we can do to the individual ports. All we can do is AHCI, NVMe RAID, which is disabled, chipset SATA port enabled, default, and the only change we made was chipset SATA port hot plug, hot swap, disabled to auto. We cannot get to the individual ports to do anything. So let's poke around just a minute and see if we have anything else. USB is all enabled, network, and of course bifurcation, everything is set to auto. With PCI Express 3 it had to be manually set. With PCI Express 4 it's supposed to be able to handle itself automatically. But there's no other way to get into that SATA. Favorites, extreme memory, tweaker, we don't want to do the XMP yet. Settings, miscellaneous. Trusted computing disabled, I/O MMU is auto, 3D Mark enhancement, all these LEDs are on. PCI Express slot configuration is auto. Press the escape key. Nope. Back out of that. Settings, system info, plug-in device info. I like that. So it shows the SATA. We have 3 SATA devices out of 8. Shows the video card installed. Shows we have 2 16-lane slots, 2 8-lane slots, and 1 1-lane slot. Shows the M.2 information, the first M.2, which is an NVMe, which is the Sabrent Rocket Q4, PCI Express 4. And we can put 3 more on here, which is kind of cool. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, there's nothing else we can do with it. Plug-in devices info, which is back to that. USB configuration, back to that. NVMe, back to that. There's nothing else that we can do to SATA. That's it. It's all or nothing. Disabled or auto. Okay, so we're going to leave it. We have to accept it. So we want to do F10. It's always a good idea. Save configuration. Say yes. And away we go as we reboot. So, wow, they've really changed that. Used to you could set the individual ports. I think what we'll do is another video about how the hot swap, hot plug works from an 8350 to a Ryzen 2nd generation to the X399 for the Threadripper 2 and now for the TRX40, and we'll do a comparison of all those. That could be interesting, especially showing BIOS information, because I've got to have all those up here lined up one at a time. So I'll do that, put the video together, and then you can see the difference in all 4 of them. So this was about hot plug and hot swap. We also did the BIOS update. We didn't actually step through it, but we showed you how simple it is and how crucial it is. Now the next thing we want to do, since we've done the BIOS update and we're comfortable with the BIOS because we've been using it for a little while, that's part of what testing is about. Just use the computer, just do some stuff.